Warning: this video is not meant for kids. It involves foul language, violence, and existential concepts. I am not responsible for anyone under the ages of 13 watching this video. I would also like to mention that the digital images used to make this video have been custom made or changed from the original format and are not available for public use. Thank you, and enjoy the video. So, Elwood, how's your side going? I noticed less freight traffic in your yard.
It would be easier to tell you what hasn't happened. It's been hard enough trying to keep up with the quota from British Railways.
Well, that's the benefit of being a private railway. You're your own boss.
Tell me about it. Sometimes I wish I could just break with British Railways and have done with it. Bring back the Whighthaven Central.
Well, why not?
I just can't justify the expense. I mean, cutting all the ties. And I'd have to send most of the fleet back. So what would I run my trains with?
Can't you just ask that guy in the States for help?
What? The one running the Golden Spike?
Nah, the other guy, the one running the Hayward and Northern.
Mr. Northern?
Yeah, that hillbilly.
If I could borrow some engines, I would. But you have to remember we run at a different loading gauge to the States. Most of his engines simply wouldn't fit. Besides, I'm not sure if he has any to spare.
One day you'll get your railway back. I know it. That'll be Manitoba with the 1015.
Good morning, sirs. Lovely day, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is.
Sir, I was wondering about that bit of routine maintenance I have scheduled.
Well, sure, old boy. What's on your mind?
Well, I was wondering if I could have a new set of journal blocks, as my current ones are getting on a bit.
Well, I'll see what I can do, Manitoba. Just carry on with your work for now.
Alright, Will, what are you telling him? Spare parts and patents are readily available.
What if I told you all our spare parts have dried up?
What? Surely you could import parts from the U.S. And besides, you should have patents. We constructed the Locos at Whighthaven, for goodness sake.
Well, the parts simply haven't been available for 12 years.
12 years?
The railroad I was buying them from went belly up 12 years ago, and the Locos, patents, and spares have all been gone to dust.
Surely you stockpiled parts and blueprints by now.
Those spares have run out too, and the blueprints, for lack of a better term, were lost.
Will, this is a huge problem. How have you been getting by?
I've instructed my staff to refurbish the old parts and refit them to the engines. Hasn't been ideal, but we're holding our own. And besides, Any parts that I ordered before the railroad closed were never delivered.
Well, you must make inquiries.
Don't you think I tried that?
Alright, then. I'll do some digging of my own. I'll find those parts for you. In the meantime, you can tell your Locos what's been going on.
I'd rather not, to be honest.
Why not?
Well, they may not know that their siblings have been scrapped.
Will, you must tell them. You can't keep going on like this.
Elwood, I can't just tell them.
You must, or else.
Or else what?
Or else I'll tell them. Anyways, Will, it's been an enlightening conversation as always, but I must get back to my railways affairs.
And same to you, Elwood.
So, how are we gonna handle while I'm down?
Well, we could always ask two to help.
Oh, off. I got too much to deal with on my branch line. Y'all figure out your own.
Damn, alright.
I could just take your loads with me.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that.
Good afternoon, Stonewall.
Same to you, Viewfinder. Sat around gossiping while I'm doing the real work.
Well, actually, I'd ask you the same thing. You're the one who's hogging the line.
Ooh, feisty this afternoon.
Alright, Stony. No need for that, is there?
What? I didn't say anything.
If you said even less, you'd be more popular.
Oh, come on. Low below, man.
Stop calling the kettle black.
You can shove off too, mate.
Anyways, before Viewfinder has to leave the scene of the crime, I have news.
If it's about your ash pan again...
First off, you. And second, no, I overheard something this morning.
Oh, proper gossip, this is. Come on, spill.
Well, I asked Mr. Wilson if I could have a new set of journal boxes at my upcoming overhaul. A very easy request to fulfill, right?
Yeah, so what?
Well, he didn't answer me properly. Not really. He said he would see. I thought nothing of it until I was shining my train around, and what do I hear? Something about spare parts unavailable, closed railroads, and scrap.
Oh, get over yourself. You're just hearing things. They probably were talking about the standard gauge lot. I heard British Rail is publishing a report about the railways.
No, I definitely heard it coming from Will. I reckon it's something to do with us, and I plan to figure it out.
Okay, while you do that, I'd like to get to the bottom of the railway so I can do my job. So if you're done with your conspiracies, I'd like to get out of here. So any updates on your maintenance?
Of course not.
No need to worry then.
Don't jump to conclusions. I know that there's something that has been hidden from us.
But Stonewall said it might have to do with the standard gauge.
Yeah, probably. But what about the small chance that it's us?
Good morning, engines. I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying. Unfortunately, however, I do got some bad news.
Well, Manitoba, let's see if we were proven wrong.
My money is on two being retired.
I may be long in the tooth, but my hearing is as clear as ever some.
When are you gonna realize that we don't give it?
Anyway, we're not killing number 2 yet. Wait, what?
Well, that's good news if anything.
I told you.
But that's not the bad news. The bad news is we're out of spare parts. I haven't been receiving any from the States, and since Whighthaven Works closed to loco maintenance a few years ago, Mr. F hasn't been able to build any more. Most of what you're using is your old parts refurbished to factory settings.
Good morning, Will and Engines.
Hi, Elwood. I was just telling these guys what you told me to, setting them straight and all.
Ah, excellent. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Not that part yet.
Oops.
What does he mean? Sorry for our loss.
Does this have to do with the lack of parts?
Well, yeah, your cousins in Utah. Their line closed about 12 years ago and, well...
Scrapped!
I tried to buy them, don't get me wrong, but all I managed to get was a complete catalog of spare parts, but they never showed up.
Might I interject?
Not now. We need some time to process this.
It's about the spare parts.
What about them?
Well... Hey, Bluebell. This might be a stretch, but do you remember about 12 years ago getting a shipment of spare parts from Utah?
Oh yeah, those parts were confiscated by the War Department. An engine took them up to an old army base near Whighthaven.
Is there any chance those parts are still there?
Well, it was worth asking.
I shall. Thank you, Bluebell.
No problem.
So I went to the old army base and checked behind the facility and found some old vans, and you'll never guess what they were full of.
Please tell me it's what I think it is.
Of course, they're absolutely full of spare parts for the engines, not to mention parts for the trucks and even parts for coaches.
You can't be serious.
No way.
Yes way. I've sent some workmen from Whighthaven Works to begin refurbishing the parts. They'll be delivered next week.
But Whighthaven Works has been closed for years. BR wouldn't set aside money to refurbish private railway parts.
No, they wouldn't. So I'm paying for this myself. Consider it an apology for dumping the sad news on you.
Well, thank the Lord. He was definitely paying attention when he made you, Elwood. Thank you ever so much.
You're ever so welcome. Now, I will leave you guys in peace. I'm sure you have plans to discuss, and engines to mourn.
So, what did I miss?